Hey everybody, Sean from Media Assault here, and it is time for a special movie review. I actually got the opportunity to see a special screening of Act of Valor tonight at a local theater, and I thought I would post my comments on it. This is a movie that was directed by Mike Mouse McCoy and Scott Waugh, and as far as I know, this is their first feature-length film. They have a background mostly in producing and stunt work. The movie was written by Kurt Johnstad, who is probably best known as the co-writer with Zack Snyder of 300. The movie opens with an introduction, which I'm assuming is going to also be on the film when it hits theaters in a couple of days. But the introduction has the directors coming out and kind of explaining what they wanted to do with this film, why they did it the way they did it. And basically they're letting you know that they wanted to showcase the brotherhood of the military and the guys in uniform on the battlefield and off the battlefield. And also they included some of the real family members of these guys on film, and they used live ammo in the action scenes, and I'll get to that in just a second. Then the movie opens, and it's really got a great pace. It moves along very briskly for a movie that's 101 minutes long. And there are basically two sides to this movie. There are the action scenes, which by far are the most realistic and unbelievable action scenes I've seen in a movie in a long time, if not ever. The way these are filmed and the way they highlight the tactics and the strategies of the soldiers is just phenomenal. And I can guarantee you, if you see this movie, you'll never look at a movie like The Expendables or Commando the same way again. And I realize those movies aren't meant to be realistic, but you're going to be thinking about all the unnecessary chances and stupid things that people will do in these, overblown action scenes after seeing how precise and how almost with surgical skill that these guys act. And it's phenomenal. It's awe-inspiring to see how they integrate technology with just good old-fashioned tactics. It's really, really cool. The camera work, and this is probably going to be a comment you'll hear a lot, people who see this movie, it's like you're in a video game. There's a lot of first-person shots looking down the barrel of the gun, very reminiscent of what we saw in Battle Los Angeles, which I made a comment saying that was like a Call of Duty type movie. And there's a lot of that in this film. And it's explained in the introduction by the directors as they were trying to give the audience a feel for what it was like to be in these situations. And it's almost forgivable that they tried to do it that way because they give you that first-person experience. But then part of me wonders how much of that was to make it look like a video game, so kids watching this movie would go, "Hey, I want to do that," and sign up for the Navy SEALs. So while I understand why they did it, I'm kind of on the fence about how they did it. But it is effective, and it does work as far as getting you involved in the action. So then there's the other side, the non-action side. And I guess it's a symptom of having people who aren't actors play characters in a film. They don't act very well, and I'm not expecting them to. But the movie puts such an emphasis on trying to showcase the camaraderie and the brotherhood of these guys that these sequences kind of come off as overly earnest and kind of ham-fisted. They're trying to show these guys interacting with each other as buddies, and they don't seem like buddies, or they don't seem comfortable delivering the dialogue that they're delivering. It doesn't showcase the camaraderie anywhere near as well as the action scenes, which show them actively caring for each other, watching each other's backs, looking out for each other. I think the action scenes do so much better at showcasing that camaraderie and that brotherhood and how much they mean to each other. And I won't spoil it, but there are many situations in those battle sequences that showcase that. And the movie can't be action from beginning to end. I understand that, but they're basically non-action vignettes where these guys kind of just try to look like they're having a good time with each other. They just really fall flat, and they're not helped by the script at all, because this dialogue that they're forced to say is it's god awful. However, nobody is going to see this movie or wants to see this movie because of the acting. I'm not expecting fantastic Academy Award-winning performances from these guys. They don't deliver it. I'm not worried about it. the reason to see this movie is A, because of the very fitting tribute that it pays to the servicemen, and B, because the action sequences not only kick ass, they're realistically done, and visually and sonically, because of the use of live ammunition while they were filming this. You've never seen action sequences like this on screen before, unless you've been in combat, I would guess. I've never been in combat, never want to be. And this movie also highlights the fact that I am so very lucky to have these guys, or guys like them, if not these particular guys, watching my back and fighting for the country. I'm just incredibly honored and just very thankful that guys like this are who protect our country on a daily basis. So as a tribute to the guys in uniform, this movie works fantastically. However, as an action film, which ultimately is what it is, it's only got the action going for it. The slower parts towards the middle, they really bring the movie down a notch because the acting is, and the dialogue is so bad, it's almost laughable. And that does a disservice to these guys. Like I said, I'd really understand their brotherhood and camaraderie a lot more and take it a little more seriously if we didn't have the, hey buddy, want to go surfing? That kind of stuff in the middle. And I don't mean to make light of their performances in that they're not actors. I don't expect them to be. So the rating I'm going to give this film may sound low and may sound like I'm telling you not to see it. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. However, if you know going in what you're going to get, just discount the non-action stuff and just really pay attention to what these guys do, how well they do it, the fantastic job that they do, and just enjoy the action sequences and the incredibly shaky camera work, of which there is a lot. But go in with that knowledge. You'll see why I didn't rate it higher if you're looking for a complete film. Now, if you're going in looking just for action and you just want action and you live and die by action, you're going to rate this a 10 out of 10. I can guarantee you that, because these are some of the best action sequences you're ever going to see on film. But as a complete whole of a film, I got to give it a 7.5 out of 10. But the action sequences, by far, 10 out of 10. And I'm not trying to ride the fence on this just because I know people are going to watch the movie and then watch my review and say, dude, you didn't rate it high enough. This movie kicked ass. Yes, I realize it kicked ass, but it also has to do other stuff. It can't be action from beginning to end. So 7.5 out of 10. And again, I really can't say enough about what I learned about the SEALs and the military and what they do. And I'm really thankful to have them protecting us on a daily basis. So I can't say enough about that either. The movie does that side of things in a fantastic light. So it does what it does very well. It's the things that it doesn't do very well that I have a bone to pick with it, but what are you going to do? Anyway, that's my review of Act of Valor, and I really encourage you guys to go see it on the big screen, because it is really worth seeing these action scenes on the big screen so you can really get that impact of how they look and sound. So as always, feel free to rate, comment, and of course, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe for more reviews of movies, music, and video games here on Media Assault. So thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy.